Coming up next on Columbus Connections, we are talking home ownership, how to do it, how to go about it. It's for everybody, including you. Stay tuned. Welcome to Columbus Connections. I am your host, David Britt, and also happy holidays, by the way. And usually during the holidays, we're at the end of the year, already at the end of 2018. Right now, maybe a lot of New Year's resolutions are starting. I'm going to lose weight, I'm going to get right, my body right. One of those things that you may be planning on doing is buying a home. Or maybe you haven't thought about it, but here's your chance too, because there are a lot of programs, and I know a lot of people get intimidated about the home buying process. You're not sure about it, not sure what to do. We're going to talk about all of that today so you can know all the steps and a lot of different programs that are out there that you may not be aware of that can help you out. So I have the perfect people to do it. My first guest, welcome to the show.
Thank you.
Tell us your name and tell us who you're with.
Okay, my name is Melanie Faison. I'm with NeighborWorks Columbus. I'm the Director of Production and Program Services.
Gotcha. And tell us what NeighborWorks Columbus is.
We're basically a nonprofit that's designed to help the citizens of Columbus become homeowners. We have different programs and information, education to help you to make your first step towards homeownership.
Right. So you've seen a lot of people come, be it first-time homeowners that have a lot of questions about buying a property and may not have thought they were qualified to do it, and you've helped them to get to that point.
Yes, over the years we've helped hundreds of families, and they're always so thankful and grateful because many of them are first generational homeowners, meaning no one else in their family. They didn't know how to take the first step of what to do. One of the biggest obstacles is credit, you know, not knowing how a credit score works and how to maintain your credit and keep your credit score high. So we give them that information. We give them the power of the knowledge to become a homeowner.
What are some of the things that you've come across where people, that keeps people from buying a home?
First of all, fear. As we discussed, I've been with NeighborWorks for 15 years, and we went through the housing crisis and the crash. And prior to that, homeownership was, you know, all the rage. Everybody was trying to buy a home, and they were enthusiastic about it. It was a lot of programs to assist down payment. But after the market crashed and so many people lost their homes, and mostly minorities lost their homes through foreclosure, people got scared and they pulled away from purchasing a home. So fear is the biggest obstacle. So we're here to say that don't be afraid. There's nothing to fear but fear itself. And it's a systematic way that you can prepare yourself for homeownership. And that's what we do at NeighborWorks Columbus. It's a comprehensive program. The first thing we do is pull a credit report that a lender would pull so we could make an assessment of your credit.
Gotcha. And a lot of, with the crash, one of the big things were the loans that were taken out during that time. They were just giving anybody all those loans that ballooned. So when people come to you all, even if they don't know the first thing about a mortgage, you guys really point them in the right direction so that they're not going to fall into that same
Absolutely.
issue.
So we give them the education on different loan products and basically how you set yourself up for financial success so you're not a victim, so that you're not even applicable for those kind of products. We're also a lender. We're a licensed Georgia and Alabama lender, so we do make FHA loan, VA loans, and down payment assistance loans. So we give them the opportunity to understand the process. They get to meet a loan officer. We also partner with realtors and other professionals in the community, like insurance agents, just for them to understand the whole process, because buying a house is a big deal. It's your single largest investment you're going to make for most people in their lifetime. So we want to make sure they do it right.
Let's talk about some of those loans and some of those programs, because some people don't know that there's down payment assistance. There's so many different things that can help someone who may not have all that money saved up to put on a big down payment like they want. What are some of the things that will help out the average home
So one of
buyer?
the misnomers is that you need 20% to put down on a house, and you don't. So we underwrite towards FHA guidelines where you need about a 3.5% down payment. If you're a veteran or active duty military, you qualify for a VA loan, which is 100%. Then you also have other programs that have down payment assistance tied to it. If you're buying in Alabama, there's some Alabama bond money that's available. So one thing about NeighborWorks is we're a one-stop shop. We have done the research for you, so you don't have to go out and look for the programs. We qualify your family for everything that we know in the market you're available, that you qualify for. So there are down payment assistance programs here in Columbus, Georgia. The city has one.
So are you all just for first-time home buyers, or are you all for anybody looking to buy a
We're
home?
for anybody who wants to buy a house. So one of the best things you can do is visit our website at www.nwcolumbus.org, and it's very user-friendly. It shows you all the different programs and services that we offer. And again, we're a lender, so if you're trying to refinance, if you're in the market again, you know, trying to upgrade a house, sell your house, and get a new house, we can qualify you for a new loan. So we are a lender, but our mission is to help first-time home buyers in the underserved market who usually don't have an opportunity.
Gotcha. Give us that number again on that website.
So our phone number is 706-324-4663, and the website is www.nwcolumbus.org.
Gotcha. Now, one more question. Now, like you said, you've been doing this for a while. So you've probably heard all of the excuses. You've seen all the people. You've seen people who thought they would never own a home get some keys in their hands.
Yes.
What would you say to that person that's watching that's just like, I kind of want to buy a house, but I just don't think I can do it?
Take the first step. Call us and let us tell you the steps that you need to take. Don't be afraid, because this time next year, you may be in a home if you take the step. If you never take the step, you'll be renewing that lease next year.
All right. You miss every shot you don't take.
Absolutely.
Keep it right here. We're going to talk about the steps and what to expect in the home buying process when we come back. Stay tuned.
In observance of the Christmas holidays, there will be a change in your waste and recycle collection pickup day. There will be no collections on Monday, December 24th or Tuesday, December 25th. Monday's route will be collected on Wednesday. Tuesday's route will be collected on Thursday. Thursday's route will be collected on Friday, and Friday's route will be collected on Saturday. This route change will be only for the week of December 24th. We apologize for any inconvenience, and we extend you the warmest holiday season.
Man, I wish the city would fix these darn potholes. Someone needs to report this.
Has this ever happened to you and you didn't know who to call? It's simple. Dial 311 or 706-653-4000. Columbus 311 Citizen Service Center. Our goal is to provide complete, accurate, and timely information to citizens and employees regarding complaints, inquiries, and requests for information. Columbus 311 Citizen Service Center, your direct link to city service.
Welcome back to Columbus Connections. We are talking home ownership, buying a property. It's the end of the year. Why not start off that first year right, finding you a place to live? Now, one thing that people have a lot of trepidation about when buying a home is credit. Is my credit may not be up in the 8s and the 7s, so what do I need to do? So I have with me a realtor who if you're going to buy a home, find yourself a great realtor. That makes all the difference. I have with me Mr. Joel Babb. He's a realtor with Keller Williams.
Yes.
And we're going to talk about what to expect in that home buying process. Welcome to the show.
Thank you. Glad to be here.
Now, that first question, people often wonder about their credit, wondering where's the right place for it to be or what to do if it's not in the right place. What can they do?
Well, the first thing is you will have to know where your credit is. So that's the first step. Knowledge is power.
Yeah.
And so the first thing you would need to do is go to a lender and have them pull your credit so they can show you where you are and then tell you how to get to where you need to get to. What most lenders look for is about a 640. That's the bottom line number. People could work with lower numbers, but that's when you get the interest rates high and things of that nature. So they look for a 640 and that will get you qualified. But if you're not at a 640, they should show you what it would take for you to get to where you can get to that number, that magic number.
Awesome, and like we said with NeighborWorks, there are places like NeighborWorks that can help you get there as well.
Definitely.
So people get approved, you get that approval, so you know how much you're approved for.
Yes.
You know, now you're ready to go out on the market and find a home. But a realtor is who can help you answer all those questions that you may have.
Yes. What I like to tell buyers is basically you hire out who you want to help you, basically. So if you're not comfortable with anybody, you do not use anybody. That goes with realtors, that go with lenders, that go with anybody. This is about you and only about you. Our job and everybody's job is to work for you and to make sure we get you what you desire and what you want. And like we said the first time, when you meet with that lender, they will let you know where you qualify and what you qualify for. Lots of people, they try to go out and start looking at homes and they don't know what they qualify for. So as a realtor, we step in just to let you know the steps about going about it. So once you get qualified, we will know where you stand and how much you can approve for. And now we will go find you houses that fit your needs and your budget. Because you don't want to go looking for a $400,000 house and you want to qualify for $200,000.
Right.
And so once we get that, now we know what you want. We will sit down with you. We'll ask what you're looking for, everything that you want in a house and everything that you don't want in a house. And we'll go through the MLS list and we'll get everything that fits your needs. And then we would bring them to you and then we'll sit down and choose which ones you would like to take a look at.
Gotcha. And so you get with the realtor or real estate. And let me be clear, this is Government Access TV, so we're not saying you have to get a realtor. I'm just saying if you don't know what you're doing, get somebody who knows what they're doing.
Well,
So anyway.
sorry, the funny thing about
Yeah.
that though is that the buyers,
Yeah.
it makes no sense not to use a realtor.
Right.
Because the sellers are the ones who are
They're gonna
actually
pay
paying
for
the
it.
commission.
Yeah.
So we're in essence working for you for free. And we make sure that the guidelines that that is going about is followed
Right.
completely. So I highly suggest any buyer to use a realtor because we'll make sure that you doing everything that you need to do to make sure you purchase a great product.
Gotcha. So you find the home, you get the home that you want to have. It's your dream home, has everything you ever
Yeah.
wanted. And so what's the next step?
The next step is we'll put it under contract or we'll go through negotiations.
Well,
with the seller.
let's go all the way through it. Let's go
Okay.
all the way. So I'm going to
So-
tell me about the offer and.
All right, so you find a house or we find you a house and this is the house that you want. We'll put an offer into the agent, to the agency. They would either accept the offer, reject the offer, or they would
They're going to
accept, reject, or counter. Yes, counter. So once they do that, that's what starts the negotiations. Once we all come to an agreement, that's when it's under contract. Now, once you get it under contract, you have between 10 to 14 days where you have a due diligence period. And that's when we'll get you set up with inspectors. You get the house inspected, you'll get termite inspection done. You will make sure that you get everything completed within that amount of time before you continue on with the process. Now, and that's once you do that, if something comes back, let's say inspector come back and say this needs to be done or that needs to be done, you're able to renegotiate with the sellers. So therefore, if something comes back and say this needs to be fixed, now you go back to the seller and say this needs to be fixed. Now they have an option of fixing it for you or going down on the price. And so once you come back to a median, then you're under contract. Now you will have whatever time that is there to close the contract.
Right,
And
so
usually this whole process takes about 30 to 45 days.
Gotcha. So you see the house you want, you put in the offer on the contract, that goes to the seller, they look at it and say, okay, we'll take it, we won't take it, or we want to change stuff.
Yeah.
And you do a little bit of negotiating until you decide what you want.
Yes.
During that time, you have all of you want to do the appraisal to make sure the property is worth what it's worth,
Yes.
the inspection, all that things, because you want to make sure you're getting what you want.
Exactly.
You don't want to move in.
No
and then-
surprises.
and you have any surprises.
Exactly.
And then, so once everything, once you're satisfied with what you're moving into, you got the appraisal is what it's worth, the inspection, everything is good. Now you're ready to do what we call the closing.
The closing, yes.
All right, and then we hear that word a lot, but for anyone who's never bought out property, what is the closing?
All right, the closing is, and real quick, let me just touch on, all these people are working for you, the lenders and everybody. So the appraisals, the system is set up to where you're not buying a defective product. So
Okay.
the importance of the appraisal is to make sure you're not overspending for a house, and that's a big thing. So when the appraisal comes back, if it is higher or lower than what the asking price was or what you agreed upon, they're going to have to come down on the price, because a bank is not going to lend that money for something that's not worth it.
Right.
So it has to meet the minimum or at least whatever you put the offer on or the contract. So the system is just set up to make sure that they're protecting the consumers.
Gotcha.
Okay? And now once all that is completed, now we're sitting down and we're closing. The closing part is basically signing over the deeds and you getting your property. And that we have your lawyers. That's when the lawyers are involved. You have your lawyers and you have or a title company. And you just sit down, the buyers come to the table, the sellers come to the table, and we just make the deal happen right there. And there's certain closing costs, which you have the origination fees, you have taxes and insurance, and you have different other closing costs that comes into play also.
But the costs are a part of the sale. You're paying, as the person coming, you're paying the down payment, am I correct? But those costs are just, it's not like you're gonna have to pay for this out of pocket.
Well, all that is negotiable.
It's all negotiable.
All that is negotiable.
Right.
The closing costs can sometimes split between both sellers and buyers. Sometimes the sellers pay it. Everything is negotiable on the table. So you gotta, that's why it's good to have a good agent.
Gotcha.
So to negotiate the prices, negotiate who pays the closing costs and things of that nature. And then there's certain guidelines on each loans also. VA, FHA, conventional, there's a certain amount that they can pay or the seller can pay towards closing costs. And then you do have down assistance of payment or down payment assistance, correct? So, but all that is negotiable.
Gotcha. In addition to just having a house to yourself and having the freedom and usually having a house note that's less than what your rent would have been,
Yeah.
the government wants you to own a house because you're paying taxes, you're keeping a piece of land in a good standing. So they offer, there's tax credits, there's homestead exemptions.
Yes.
There are a lot of things that incentivize people to own homes.
Yes, definitely. And there's no better feeling than to have your own home. You have put in your money instead of going to rent. Now it's going towards something that you're going to own. But just like you said, there are plenty of incentives. You get tax breaks when it comes to home ownerships and things of that nature. There's lots of incentives.
Awesome. If anyone has any questions about home ownership and wants to contact you, how can they do it?
Definitely. They can reach us. You can reach us at, well, my number is 706-577-3781. Me and my wife, we work together as a team. Her number is 718-909-2644. Her name is Jemima Bab, my love.
She's on the other side of the camera, keeping them straight. The team is how you work together. There you have it, folks. Like I said, this is the new year. We hope to see you guys have a happy new year, and hopefully you'll spend the part of that year in your brand new home. If you have any questions, contact NeighborWorks or contact a real estate professional. Happy holidays. This is Columbus Connections.